Hey guys, it's Zuri again with Talk Yarny to Me. Just coming in here with a little bit of an update on what I've been working on. If you hear clicking and thumping, those are my puppies. They're roaming around in the bedroom behind me. I got one right here. You see his nose now, and wagging his tail. So maybe a little bit of a distracting noise. I tried to kick them out, but they weren't having it. Anyway, did I introduce myself? My name is Zuri. You have found Talk Yarny to Me. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to, I know I've gained a few new subscribers in the last couple of weeks. And so thank you guys for all joining in. And always, as always, thank you to my day ones, all of you guys that have been with me the last, 3 years or so. Listen to all my ramblings. I talk about my yarn projects in my yarn. I do knit and I do crochet. Lately it's been very knit heavy, just the kind of projects I've been doing, but I do have some crochet stuff to show you guys today as well. And I guess that is it. And I was saying it's going to be a little bit shorter today because I know I showed a lot of stuff and talked about some upcoming plans, but then I've focused really heavily on a few things lately. So that's what we're going to see. Okay, so first of all, you guys know this was coming. I have finished my very first Fair Owl project, color work sweater thing. It is just so beautiful. I love it. I will pause and put it on in a second, but let's just talk about it a little. What do I have to say about it that I haven't said already? Last time that we talked, I had finished this sleeve here, so I just was finishing up this sleeve. I did notice when I got down, I think ended up with like one extra repeat on this one. I mean, not one extra repeat, one extra decrease on this sleeve. And so I don't know. I don't think it made a huge difference, but I do feel like the sleeves are not exactly even in their tightness. Like even sometimes when I put it on one side, it'll look like this a little bit. Just slightly like noticeable to me. I'm gonna put it on in a second, maybe you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Like the way that it wants to sit naturally before I adjust it. Other than that, 10 out of 10, no notes. Obviously my floats could be a little looser, but that's just gonna take practice. This is made with lion brand woolies in the colors Riverside and Gray Heather. It is just a tad bit scratchy of a wool. It's only 20% wool, though it looks and feels like really rustic and really like authentically wool if you look at it. But it's only 20% wool and 80% acrylic, which if you guys know, I live in Georgia. So I don't need a big thick wool sweater, but I want to look like I need a big thick wool sweater. That makes sense. So I think this is going to be good. Even though acrylic is not super breathable, like it's still not going to be too warm. It's going to be warm enough when I need it. I did wear this yesterday all day, and yesterday was a little bit chilly. And like I wore it like during work here in the office, and also like when I walked the dogs in the evening time, like a little bit before the sun went down. So when it started getting cooler, and it was not neither too hot nor too cold all day. So very very good. Okay, so I'm gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna put it on. And now it's 2 days later because I put my sweater on Tuesday. Today's Thursday, and I talked for another 27 minutes. And then yesterday, when I went to edit and upload, I realized that I did not have audio that entire time. So I was speaking into the ether. But anyway, as promised, I don't even remember what I talked about. I don't remember what I said, but this is the sweater on. You guys have seen it if you've seen my little short video, but um, here it is. Um, you can kind of see what I was talking about here, where like the collar is a little bit, it's like right on my neck here, where it's a little bit further down on this side. So I'm thinking that like this sleeve is just, sorry, a little bit tighter than this one. But usually if I arrange myself and do all that, it kind of evens out nicely, and there we are. So anything else? I don't remember what I said about this before I put it on 2 days ago. Let me think. I guess that's it. Did I talk about the I don't think I did. Okay. So let's talk about the bind off because I did do a different bind off this time. I did the Italian bind off as opposed to the regular knitting bind off where you just like knit or purl and then you bring it the stitch over. That one is far too tight. The last sweater I made, the flax, I switched it to a um no, sorry. Here, down here, I did a what's called, I think, Laura's stretchy bind off. Um my niece is calling me. Laura's stretchy bind off. It's still not very stretchy. You see this? I mean, it's stretchier than it, but it's still a little bit loose. Um, maybe I didn't do it. But this, I did the Italian bind off, and you see how that one is really stretchy. So that's gonna be probably my go-to bind off from now on, for stuff like this. What else? Anything else? I guess that's it. I love it. I did wear it a few days ago. I think one day last week or maybe Monday. Monday, I think. I wore it all day. I wore it here in the office. I wore it to walk the dogs, and it was perfect. Not too hot, not too cool. It's a tad bit, just a tad bit scratchy sometimes, like just depending where it's hitting my skin. Um, which is surprising because the wool content is very low actually. It's like 20%, but it feels like a wool. It doesn't smell like a wool. It doesn't have that super woolly smell, but it definitely feels like a more rustic raw wool. But it's actually 20% wool and 50 per, I mean math, 80% acrylic. I did make this with, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I did make it with woolies. Um, the worsted size in the colors Riverside and Gray Heathers. So that's it. I am super, super looking forward to doing this again. I do think my floats are still a little tight. You can see a bit of bunching. Let me come down a little bit. You can see a bit of bunching, but I think it's good. You can definitely make out the motifs. That's just going to come with practice. Anything else about this? I don't know. All the momentum's gone. So, I guess that'll be it about the sweater. I do love it though. I do have another Fair sweater plan. Not Fair but um a mosaic sweater plan with these same colors, but the background color will be the gray this time. I have like 1.5 or so of the blue left, and I have like 4.5 of the gray left. So that should be enough to do all of that. Okay. Um Cool. I left something in my bedroom. I'll get it in a minute, but I won't get it yet. I'll talk about that, I guess, last. All right, so moving on to my sock projects. Okay, so this guy here, this is the one that has been my purse project for the last several weeks. It's gonna move out of my purse now because soccer season's over, and that's like I don't have a lot of other times that I'm just sitting around. Look how big this foot is. This is for my cousin that has a size 14 foot, and it is huge. But the good news is that we have gotten to the point where we are ready to start decreasing for the toe. I need to, yeah. So I'm gonna start doing that. Um, I'm gonna start doing that soon. I could probably have this finished tonight if I want to work on it tonight, but I don't know. Look how long this foot is. This is crazy. That's the thing about like I guess knit socks is that it's not like uh I didn't think about it, so I started making them. But when you buy like the nylon socks from Walmart, wherever, like they're small, but they stretch. But there's not any like stretching. It stretches this way, even that, not too much, but it doesn't stretch this way. So you have to make it the size of the foot, and it's a big old. That's a big old foot. It's crazy. It looks so funny, but it looks good on. So yeah, this one is Peyton's Croy in the colorway something gray brown marl. I really like it. I think it's so pretty. I have, I think, just enough to finish the sock, and then I have like probably at least two more of these around somewhere. So I'll be able to like kind of take this apart and make it match up so that they match up well. And so that's looking forward to starting that. And now my 2x2 socks, which I am not in a good stopping point for, but it's okay. We have finished the heel flap and we have turned the heel and we're working on the gusset now. Now, what I did not realize until I started this process is that you really want to do the heel flap and turn one at a time, and then you do it for one, and then you pick up half the stitches, and you do it for the other one, you pick up half the stitches. What I didn't realize that because until I got to finishing the heel flap and realized, and the first heel turn, and I was like, wait a minute, what do I do now? Because you're not at the position, you're not in position to just go to the next sock. But I looked at a video from Kayla at the Crazy Sock Lady. She does have a video explaining how to do two at a time socks. I went to that and I was like, oh, I need to go and pick up the first half of the gusset stitches before I can move on, which I did. But I still feel like it's a little bit awkward because I'll show you why. So right now I'm knitting across what they call like needle one, which would be the front of the sock. That part stays the same for your entire sock. It's just like in this case, it's 32 stitches, right? And it's always 32 stitches. Needle two is this whole gusset part, right? So right now it's, I don't even know how many stitches. It's a whole bunch. Let's just say 60 something stitches, and you're going to decrease down until you get to 32, right? But the way it is right now, hold on. I guess I could actually change it to match it up. So probably not that big a deal. It's just like, so right here, like I have needle one over, like just on this first half of the needles. But over here, I have needle one and like half a needle two. So it's a little bit confusing. And that's it. I just don't want to get myself confused, but I can actually change this one up to match it up. But yeah, that's where we're at now. I'm just gonna do something real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna do a couple of stitches so that um my little stitch marker here doesn't come off. I just have stitch markers just marking where that the needle one ends, just because at the usually if it's one by one rib, I mean not one by one, when I do it one at a time, like I can kind of set up my cables, my cords, so that everything's on in its own place. But right like here, because we're doing two at a time, it's harder to do that. And so I don't want to go past like the point. I want to make sure I know where the front of the sock is, because we don't do anything to this, but we have to do decreases on the other side. And so that's all. So that's why I want to just want to kind of get to the middle of the stitch real quick, just so that I don't end up losing my stitch markers. Okay, so that's where we're at. I wish that I was in a better place. This one's in a good position. Okay, so that's what the sock's looking like with the um, striping, how the color is working out. I'm back into the purple. I feel like it got a little bit off. Like they was lining up really well, the two socks, all through the leg. I think somewhere down here, like in the heel flap and turn, we went a little bit off, and so they're not exactly as aligned, but maybe it'll even back out once we get the decreases going. But it's just a very, very pretty color. Very, very pretty colorway. I think they're gonna make an awesome pair of socks. So two going, one done. This is in the color Amethyst Stripes, I believe. Yes, Amethyst Stripes. And this is also Peyton's Croy. So two done, one going. I think I'm 70% convinced myself to use this skein, or this hank of Schiopel cat yarn, whatever it's called, for my other pair, for my okay, one, two, three, for my fourth pair. I know for a fact that this is going to be my fifth pair. This is the Clover colors in the Peyton's Croy FX. And then, like, if you recall, I had a whole decision to make about this one, because the three different cakes of this, I mean, skeins, skeins of this that I have are all slightly different. Even though they're the same colorway, they're like slightly, they're not colored, they're not dyed the same. So I might use this, but then every time I pick it up, I'm like, oh, but I think I might keep you. I don't know. I might keep it and make it something for me. I don't know. Someone else gave me a really great idea to because let me see, where's the other one? Like, you see how that one is lighter and one is darker. So someone gave me the good idea to like do the sock, the body of the sock, like in maybe the lighter color, and then use the darker for like heels, toes, and cuffs. And I think that would work. I think I should have enough to do that. So that might also be what I do. But yeah, we'll see. I'm like vacillating on that decision a lot. Okay. Um, the other thing I have right in front of me is my what's in a name for this month. This is the Zuri hooded cowl, right? It's called the, no, sorry, no, Zuri was last month. This is the Norma hooded cowl. That is my mom's name. What's in a name challenge. Last month we did our patterns that have our name in it, and this month we're doing patterns that have our parents' name in it. My mom's name is Norma. Um, and as you guys remember, I did pull out some of this stuff, which is like Lucky Brand cotton wool solids. It's a 50% cotton, 50% merino superwash. Um, if you guys recall, I was kind of deciding last time how I wanted to do the colors. I'm actually happy with the way this looks. Though if I think if I would have known, like thought about it, I would have made the green, the green color, I would have put it made it the wider stripe and made the the beige. What are these colors names? Hold on. This is, what is your name? Blue coral. This is, I want to say linen. Nope, Irish cream. And this is spruce yellow. Okay. So I think I would have switched it up and made the blue coral kind of the wider stripe, made it the main color, and then made the Irish cream the accent. And then I would have still kept this as kind of the pop of color. But either way, it's still working out nice. I'm a little over halfway through. So I've gone through like the bottom half of it, and then there's just like this kind of like accent in the middle, just a little pop. And then now you do the top half. And so I could have finished this today if I wanted. I really did. I did, yeah. Could have finished this today if I wanted, but I was working on my socks mainly and doing some other stuff. So there's this. So this is actually really pretty. Um, I like the way that the yarn feels. I have more of this in other colors. I know I have like kind of a royal blue. I think I have more of this, one of these colors. I don't remember which one. I have like a few more of. I think I should have just enough to finish off of like these two to finish off the cowl. I barely touched the yellow because it's just in these parts here. But this was a good project. It has like it had enough variation to keep it interesting. There's a lot of different stitches in here. You've got double crochets, you've got triple crochets, you've got front post single crochets, you got regular single crochets, you got these drop down stitches. So there's enough to keep it interesting, but not enough to be confusing. So this was found on Ravelry. Let me see. I think I have it here. I can tell you. Um, by Underground Crafter. You can buy the PDF or you can go to her blog and it's like on the blog, you know, but you can also buy the PDF. So I just did the blog. But it's probably worth the buy. It's a little, I don't know how the PDF version is, but like the blog version is just like a tad bit confusing. And then for a minute, I wasn't sure if she was using UK or US terms because she was like, you know, they give like the little glossary of abbreviations, and she was like, TR or whatever. It was like triple crochet, and then she had like treble in the in the in parentheses. Oh my gosh. And then I was like, oh wait, are you? Because I don't usually, you don't hear a lot of U.S. based crocheters use the term treble, and then there is, I believe, a difference technically between triple and treble, but I'm not sure. But regardless, I was like, oh, is she UK based? Um, and I wasn't sure, but I think I figured it out. I had to like kind of look at the pictures on the blog, and then also I think went to like I believe she has a YouTube. I went to one of her YouTube things, and she's American, so I was like, okay, hopefully I think you're using American terms. So there was that. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna pause you. And I'm gonna get my last project, and I'm back. Okay, so my last project is my Sister Michael sweater, otherwise known as the Yarn Inspirations Honeycomb Aran sweater, but that's just not as fun a name. This was inspired by my girl, Sister Michael from Dairy Girls. Okay, let me turn these lights off so I think you'll see the cable work a little bit better. Okay, so here it is. This has been a labor of, I don't even know if the term is love. It's been a labor though. Not a bad one, but it's been a labor. I actually am going to, I've been kind of recording like a few different sessions of me working on this or just me talking about it. I'm kind of record it as like a blog style, more vlog style video, just kind of all just, edit some clips together, talking about it, and we're probably gonna break it up by a few, like by weeks maybe. So I've got everything I want for like kind of the first week. I just got to put it all together. Um, and just kind of so going a little bit more in depth into this project, just trying something different. But I'll go ahead and show you guys still. All right, so there are 3 different motifs in this, and the honeycomb part is this one here in the middle, right? And then, and I know I really feel like I've messed up. Actually, no, it looks okay. There's a few places where I can see that I've messed up. I'll show you them. This is the back panel, but this is the honeycomb motif, and then you have I don't know what it's called, uh, but here you can see it better on this side, where like it meets in the middle, it goes all out, and then it comes back into the middle, out in, out in. I don't know what that cable is called, but there's that cable, and then there's your traditional. Let me show you this side. Which one is a good one? Yeah, your traditional like kind of braided cable pattern, right? And then in between these are like they're called what is it called? It's like a 2-stitch twist, where you twist 2 stitches at the same time, and it makes this little. It's not technically a cable, but it's like a twist. And so those kind of like separate different themes, like different parts. So like in between every braid, there's one, and then surrounding the V things, there's like a couple of them, and then surrounding the honeycomb motif, there's a couple of them. So one place I know I messed up is you can see here the first set of braids didn't cross over, so I did the wrong cable. Where I should have done a left, I don't know, where I should have done a cable in one direction, I did it the opposite, the wrong direction. So that's life. I'm not going to go back. The thing about doing cables too is that a lot of times you don't see um, the you got to get past the row, like past where you were to like see the result of your mistake. So a lot of times you don't see your mistake until you're a couple rows past it, just because I don't know, at least me, I'm not at that point yet of reading my work to where I can like see it in the row. So I saw this here, but that's all right. See, like this is the way it's supposed to be. I know let me try to block myself out. So that's the way it's supposed to look with the defined braid, and then, oh, I just poked myself in the eye. That was crazy. I didn't poke myself, but I smacked myself in the eye with the pointy needle. And then this is the messed up one. Okay, so, and then the ribbing is just a twisted rib. I really like. I think it came out really nice. This here that you see, that's a lifeline, because if it ever comes to a point where I have to like frog this thing all the way down and start over, that will be my sign that this is not for me. At least not at this time. I will not. That is a lot. So I am putting in lifelines periodically, which I usually am really bad about, but I've been really diligent about it. Um, this motif here, the braid, is just a 2-row repeat. And the honeycomb is an 8-row repeat. So I've already completed the full honeycomb. I've completed the braid a few times. The V thing is like a 19-row repeat. So we're still working on that. I have like 10 more rows to do on that. This we continue for 17 more, for not for 17 more, but a total of 17 inches. And then we like do some shaping for armholes. And so I don't know how far, probably what, 4 inches in right now. So I don't think it'll be, so that's like a quarter of the way. What am I? Yep, just a little over 4 inches, almost 5, or right at 5 actually. So it's, I think, you know, it'll be a fastish knit. The only thing is I feel like I cannot put this down for more than like a day. So I picked this up last night to work on it, and just getting across the first row, I did 2 rows. Getting across the first row, which is the right side row, that's where you do all the cables, took me forever. I had to do so much, like starting over, pulling it out, start over, pull out, start over. And then even the backside rows is pretty much just like knit the knits. For the most part, it's knit the knits and purl the pearls. But even then, like there was a couple times when I found just some, it just was a lot. And so I think like I have to work on this every day just to keep the momentum and keep that muscle memory going. Um, but yeah, I do like it. I think it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be really nice. Here's my little cable needle, which I haven't lost. I've only, well, no, I have lost. I've only lost it a couple times, which is good for me. Every time I do cables, usually like I put I put the needle down, and then I will immediately misplace it. So I've been pretty good about that. I'm sorry. Um, what else? I don't remember. Everything else that you guys have seen recently, I did not work on in the last week. So um, there's no point in showing it to you. But once I finish this guy, I'll probably start working on my Christmas project. And I need to find a good, I saw a really good square that I wanted to use and I did not bookmark it. I'm so mad. It was like, it looked like a flower in the middle, kind of, or it's like really flowery in the middle. And then, you square it off with a different color. And I thought that'd be perfect because then I don't have my Christmas stuff, my Christmas yarn right by me. It's over there. But, that's kind of the idea I had in my head. So now I gotta try to find it or something like it. And I don't remember. I think I saw it on Facebook, but I'm not sure. I have no idea really. So I have to find a square. Maybe I'll do that tonight that I can use. But I'll probably start working on that once I finish my cowl. This cowl will probably be a Christmas present um, for my mom. Trying to see if she's. I think she's right there. But I think yeah, that's gonna be her present. So I don't know how many more handmade presents I'm gonna do, but I will be doing those. Anything else? Yes, that's it. We're gonna let it go. I'm gonna let you guys get you guys out of here without too much fanfare today. I'll talk to you guys really soon. Not really soon, like next week sometime. Um, and yeah, have a great, enjoy the rest of your week. Let me know what you guys are working on. Thank you guys for watching. I don't say that enough, but thank everyone for watching. Thank everyone who likes and subscribes and comments. I really enjoy the interaction, so keep it coming. Um, Please feel free to subscribe. I have been creeping up steadily in the last like week or two, so thank you all for that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, or feel free to. There is no pressure to do so. I'm not trying to get monetized. I'm not trying to do any of that. I don't have the bandwidth to, I've said this before, to like ever do anything outside of just come and chit chat every week or two. Um but I am trying to like do some other things just to keep it interesting. Like I said, I'm gonna do like kind of that vlog style thing. I've been doing a few shorts as like just little shorts as updates instead of these long rambling things. Um, etc., etc. But anyway, my whole point was was just to say thank you. I try to remember to do that at the beginning of my videos, but I never remember. I just get to going, get to gabbing. And so I'm gonna say it now for those of you that stuck around with me. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later.